Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 34 of Weird Mind Newsroom. Now, of course, this is going to be my weekly series as per usual, where I delve into all the new releases, all of the trailers, and all of the news. We're also going to be doing it in a little bit more of a soft-spoken voice. So, let's not waste too much time, let's waste too much chats, and let's get right to the new releases.
When I was a boy.
So starting the new releases of the week is bringing us a film finding itself in the awards circuit with the new black comedy thriller period of Poor Things. This film will see a famous scientist, who's played by Willem Dafoe, bring a woman, played by Emma Stone, back from the dead after she took her own life and replaced it with the mind of a young child placed in her head, and she will soon learn about many things from life and education to as far as even love and sexual escapades. Now, this film has garnered some very strong positive praise for its casting, including for Emma Stone and Willem Dafoe and Mark Ruffalo, its set design, its cinematography, everything, and has been labeled as one of the best movies of 2023 and has been winning some strong awards right now. And if you want to experience this for yourself and see what everyone's raving about, you can do so now in cinemas. And now for the first of the action popcorn flicks of the year, as we have to see everyone's favorite rugged hard man Jason Statham leading the charge in the new film from David Ayer of The Beekeeper. And this will see Statham be called to take action to his own hands with the skills he garnered from the powerful clandestine organization of the Beekeepers, when his kind elderly neighbor takes her own life after evil people have swindled her and stolen all of her money, and will do anything to take it down and avenge her. Now, this film has garnered some decent reception and praise for its action and story, but, kind of a bit simplified. And if you want a bit of an action to lift those very January blues, you can check it out now in cinemas. And for the first of the new shows for this year, and we start with the release of the all-new series courtesy of the MCU, with their first in the Spotlight series and more mature series with the new series of Echo. This will follow the character of Maya Lopez, who will be introduced to us in Hawkeye as she tries to take down the army of Kingpin after she has supposedly killed him in that previous show's finale, and bring power in her own accord while facing her past, her Native American lineage, and her family and community. The reception of this series has been decently received, with praise for its main lead of Alicia Cox, the more mature tone of the series, and as well for its performance and stunt scenes, as well as its inclusivity, because the main lead is actually deaf and a amputee in real life, so it actually works out well in some capacity. With some mixed reception towards its plot elements and a bit of an underwhelming finale from what I've heard. But if you want to check it out, this series yourself, you can catch the full 5-episode series now on Disney+. And to wrap it all up with the all-new releases of this week, we are going fast with everyone's favorite blue blur, back once again with the third and possibly final season of Sonic Prime. Now, this will continue the story and possibly even be the last season for the show, as Sonic and Shadow must combine their powers together and save the multiverse from the Shattered Multiverse shards from falling into the wrong hands and messing with the multiple worlds contained in them. Now, the reception on this third season, like the previous seasons, have been decently received for its flashy animation, its interesting story, and great focus on action, even if some feel a bit on the latter part couldn't feel monotonous after a while. But if you want something fun to watch for the whole family, then you can check out the new and possibly last season now on Netflix. And with that, that's all the new releases that we have for this week.
Joke's on you, I'm into that shit!
By the power of animation, I have the trailer! As Kevin Smith and Netflix has come along and dropped a new look at the upcoming series of Masters of the Universe Revolution. Now, this new series will follow on from the very divisive Revelation series. Well, more divisive in the case of the audience, because they mad that the main lead of this series is a woman. But we'll see Teela teaming up with He-Man and the other Masters on their quest to save Eternia from the grip of darkness. Now, I think that visually this looks stunning and the action and cast sound great. Hopefully people will actually, not be petty about having female leads and shit like that, getting mad about this series either. But we'll have to find out when this series drops on Netflix in about 2 weeks time on January 25th. And now for an all-new release of a biographical film focusing the attention on the life and career of a popular artist. And this new one will be focused on the singer of Amy Winehouse with a trailer for Back to Black. This will follow the life of the young artist and show her life turning around from starting her successful music career and focusing a bit on her messy personal life and career up to the release of her second album in 2006, as well as her struggles with addiction, relationships, and all the struggles up to her tragic sudden death in mid-2011 at the young age of 27. Now, the film looks decent and the actress playing Amy does look the part and hopefully will be a very well respectful film for the real life person. And we will see how it all comes together when the film releases in cinemas on April 12th, I believe. It's either April 12th or May 10th. We'll have to find out. And the last of the trailers from this week comes to us from the directors of the underrated black comedy thriller of Ready or Not, that I thought would be a very simple, fun film, but turned around very quickly with a new film known simply as Abigail. This will follow a group of criminals who have been tasked to keep the daughter of a dangerous criminal or mastermind in the home for 24 hours for them to receive their share of $50 million. But it is soon discovered that this will not be as easy as they seem, as this little girl has a supernatural form, and soon these criminals will be in the fight for survival to make it out alive. Now, when watching the trailer first, I was thinking maybe some madman's House of Traps, but when it was revealed the twist of this little girl has like a supernatural, like immortality kind of thing, I was immediately invested. You can check out this film as well as the full trailer down the link in the description when this film releases in cinemas on April 19th. With that, that's all the new trailers that we have for this week.
And if me suggesting that a fictional character in a YA murder bunny game is a robot is that bad to you, go touch grass.
Right. We shall start this week's news with a big announcement of some casting news, of course, and it's all going to be based on the follow-up season to one of the best shows of 2023. Now, as you are aware, and I have mentioned in the past, and we'll do an in-depth lengthy video on at some point, that one of my personal favorite shows in the last year was the video game adaptation of The Last of Us from HBO. I was known for a fair bit of time that we will be getting a second season to the show that will be tackling probably a decent chunk of the very divisive Last of Us Part 2. A game that's also getting remastered next week. And the big question since the first season ended was, when will we learn of some of the cast for some of the big name characters that will be in this season from the game? And this week, we finally got the announcement of 3 of them in particular, and I will give them all a quick rundown of who is playing who. So on Monday, we received the word of the debated character of the sequel, which is Abby, and this time we played by the actress of Caitlin Dever. Now, she's no stranger to fan casting with this series, as she was the initial choice everyone wanted to play Ellie in the series before the role was given to Bella Ramsey, who did an excellent job in the series. And I do think that they will have a very decent casting in this, and hopefully people will be a bit more open to her character instead of people sending death threats to the original voice actors of the character. Backstory: the game came out, questionable things that the character did in the second game caused basically a bunch of neckbeards and angry people to, send death threats to Neil Druckmann, who they call Neil Cookman, Laura Bailey, who voices Abby, and then a case of instances of basically where it's a joke now from a lot of PlayStation, like kind of just petty PlayStation fanboys kind of giving out about it, but that's what I've seen. Anyway, moving on to the second casting was on Tuesday, we got to the confirmation of young Mazzino will be taking on the role of Jesse in the series. Now, his most recent talents was in the popular series of Beef, and while I may not have seen it myself, I have heard he is excellent in it, so I will probably give a chance on that as well. He's playing some other stuff I need to actually look at what he's in. And lastly, on Wednesday, we got the official word that the character of Dina, Ellie's love interest, will be played by Isabella Merced. Now, you may know her for her roles in Instant Family. She was the version of Dora the Explorer in that live-action film from about 5 years ago, and she's also appearing in 2 upcoming superhero films this year, with the first one being one of the girls in Madame Web, and as Hawkgirl in next year's Superman Legacy. So I think they have done a great choice in that decision. Now, I'm sure probably over the next couple of weeks, depending on how much they're going to cover in this second season of part 2, because part 2 is a quite heavy game, they might get some casting at least of Abby's friends and most likely Lev and Yara. Now, I know the character that played Lev in the game says they want to come back to play their character, so I think they can do it. I personally think they should, hopefully this time. But I want to know your thoughts. What do you think of these castings for this series, and do you think any of them are any good, and who would you have casted these 3 roles? And who would you cast in the other roles itself? We'll probably find out more as the series begins filming some point in February, but Let me know what you think at all down below in the comments, and let's discuss about what your thoughts on them are. Now this one, I'm also going to keep a little brief on this one, but we're talking about award shows for this next story, and specifically two that had just aired live on the weekend. And this is with the Golden Globes and the Creative Arts Emmys. The proper Emmys will be airing sometime, I think, the following week from now. And I want to give a quick little rundown on some of the big winners and predicted hopefuls for the big gold Oscars in early March, as well as talk on one of the big issues that many got from this year's Globes as well. So starting with the Creative Arts Awards, I will give focus on the big winner of the Emmys was from HBO's The Last of Us, winning 8 awards in the night, which included some for prestigious awards like visuals, art and makeup, cinematography, prosthetics, as well as an award for Storm Reid for her guest appearance as Riley in episode 7's Left Behind episode, and for Nick Offerman as Bill in the beautiful third episode of Long Long Time. The runner-up in the awards came from the sports-based reality series of Welcome to Wrexham, which snagged itself 5 wins. And their shows that garnered some strong wins included Wednesday from Netflix, The Bear from Hulu and Disney+, and still a Michael J. Fox documentary. An excellent documentary I actually would recommend as well. It's a great film. You can catch on Apple TV+, I think it's like that. And it seems it went off without a hitch. Now as for the Globes, both of the sides of film and TV had 2 clear winners on both ends. The big winner on film was with Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer, winning 5 of its 8 nominations, which included Best Film and Drama, Best Actor Award for Cillian Murphy, Supporting Actor for RDJ, and Best Director for Nolan, with the runner-ups in this film category being Poor Things winning Best Film and Musical and Comedy and Best Actress for Emma Stone, and Barbie winning Box Office Achievement and Best Original Song for What I Was Made For by Billie Eilish. Now personally I would have chosen I'm Just Canner Peaches for that win, but I guess it was not just my fault. A surprise one to me winning was Boy and the Heron over Across the Spider-Verse, but it had to have been one of the 2 options. Either one has a chance of winning it, the award for the Academy Awards soon. Just in my case, I get Boy and the Heron is a fantastic film. I've seen a fair bit of it, it's pretty good, but I have to say Across the Spider-Verse is my personal favourite one, but it's take or leave. Now, as the TV side, the big winner was going to be the final season of Succession, winning 4 of its 9 nominations, which can feel out debated given most of the nominations for a good chunk of the 9 nominations were in the same categories, sort of like few for Best Actor, few for Best Actress, few for Supporting Actor, and stuff like that. But some of its big ones, of course, was Best Drama Series, Best everything like that, and the other 2 big winners in this categories was with Beef and The Bear, both taking home around 2 wins each. Now, I felt this case Last of Us got underused in this one, and some other ones did as well, but, you know, it kind of got a case that Succession was probably going to sweep it anyway, so it was bound to happen. Now, normally I would leave it there, but I do want to mention quickly on the kind of debacle controversy that came from the mass complaint of this award show, and this is with the host of Joe Coy. Many online pundits and even a lot of the guests in the audience were not looking that impressed or amused by the host, who kept making a lot of unfunny jokes, and jokes that made a lot of sexual innuendos towards the films, mainly particularly with Barbie. You can probably see a little clip here, I'll show up here.
The key moment in Barbie is when she goes from perfect beauty to bad breath, cellulite, and flat feet. Or what casting directors call character actor.
It seemed to be the case of wondering why was he chosen for the hosting gigs, especially when the show over the last few years has been criticized for lack of diversity in hosts and mostly been run by white men. Now, logically, if this was Ricky Gervais, he probably would have made a mention of a certain list that came out last week, but we all know what that is. He has apologized for some of them, and I'm sure he will learn from this, and next year's award show hopefully will be a bit more improved. But what are your thoughts on all these award wins, and what do you think should have won the awards for the categories? And what are your thoughts on the whole dilemma from the host? Let me know what you think of it all down below in the comments, and let's have a little discussion on them as well. Now, a story you probably would not expect from me, but let's talk sports. Now, I'm not talking about the actual sports game itself, but the first big known sports event coming this year is the upcoming Super Bowl in mid-February. While many are looking forward to the actual sporting event, I'm more looking forward to what us all expect from its advertising, more specifically, trailers for upcoming projects. Now we have quite a selection of films and shows coming out over the next few months that could be unveiled at this year's game. A good chunk will be some speculation, but not as always. We have 1 or 2 that may be confirmed. Now, the first one we do have confirmation is we're getting the first extended look trailer at the open release of Despicable Me 4. That has been confirmed to be shown at the event, which just makes sense, and I'm surprised Illumination hasn't already started marketing the film since the release of Rise of Gru. Now the other one that has possibly been confirmed is the first look trailer at the upcoming release of Deadpool 3, which I think will make sense for it given that it's out in July. It gives a first look at the prequel around the event, and I feel it makes more sense to do as well. Usually they have some form of presence at the events anyway with Disney and Marvel. Now to give a quick prediction of some of the other trailers I expect from each studio, Disney most likely will get a new trailer for Inside Out. They had teased in America they re-released Soul, and they've shown off a little bit of a outline of what some of the other three emotions going to show off in this movie are. It kind of makes sense they probably will do something there. I feel we might get something of like a little tease of the Lion King prequel, and we could get a sizzle of some other shows and films, including that rumored live action Lilo and Stitch I talked about last week, which might get a release. We don't know yet. On the sides of Universal, besides Despicable Me 4, most likely the footage and trailer will be a new look at the upcoming Kung Fu Panda 4 that comes out a month afterwards, the first look at Twisters, which comes out that summer, a new trailer for The Fall Guy starring Ryan Gosling that's coming out in May, and at possible stretch maybe a teaser for the first part of Wicked, but only maybe a little bit too far out for that one, so maybe by the summer we'll get for that. With Warner Bros, the most likely we'll see a new trailer for Furiosa, a TV spot for Dune, trailers for Godzilla x Kong and Challengers, and at a possible stretch as well, a trailer for Beetlejuice 2 and Joker 2, but again, it's too early to say what those ones. Sony-wise, with most likely appealing, they don't really appear much at these events, but we could see a new trailer or TV spot for Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, a TV spot for Madame Web with that coming out in 3 days time, the first trailer for Bad Boys 4, and a new trailer for Garfield. There also could be a new look at Craven, but they will want to probably promote Madame Web first, so we'll have to see. And lastly, with Paramount, we will see the likes of the first trailer for A Quiet Place Day 1, a new trailer for If, a teaser for either the upcoming series of Knuckles, or possibly Sonic 3, but most likely the first part, and the first look at the upcoming Transformers animated movie, but the first three options seem the most likely. And to wrap it all up, I'll give some thoughts on what maybe see the likes of release of trailers for Rebel Moon Part 2 for Netflix. I got a trailer for the John Wick spin-off Ballerina, a trailer for The Boys and Fallout for Amazon, release date for The Boys Season 4, and the last one, a bit of a stretch, we might get the official name of Jordan Peele's next movie releasing at Christmas. And again, it may be at least one or two from each studio, and I'm sure we'll probably see any new confirmation and news in the next 2 weeks or so before the game kicks off on February 11th. What are your predictions on the trailers and news from this event, and what do you see being advertised? Let me know your own predictions down below now in the comments, and let's discuss some predictions for the big game. Now for the part of the news where I give some very quick updates on some release date changes, with the first two focusing on a release date shift for 2 films and then a possible leaked release date for an upcoming product that I've mentioned over the last little while. So start with the films, and both movies are releasing very soon and close enough to each other, with of course being the supernatural film of Ghostbusters Frozen Empire and the other of the monster blockbuster of Godzilla x Kong. Now both these films had garnered the good news of being released earlier than expected now, as both have been pushed up from a week from the initial release dates of March 29th and April 12th to a release on March 22nd and April 5th. Now, New Empire may be getting an extra early release date, as some mention it's coming out on the 29th of March instead, but that might just be the US release, because at the moment, if it does get pushed to March 29th, it'll be in competition with a panda that knows martial arts. But as for the other big rumored release date that I bring up is relating back to a story I talked on last week, and that's with the success of the successor of the Nintendo Switch. Now, we have known that we'll be getting a console at some point around the fall of 2024, and now from a supposed leak from Game Shark, we may know exactly when we might be getting it. Apparently, going off the data files that were leaked, it seems the Switch successor is planning for release in September of this year, which fits the fall release date for a console. Now, it could get a slight release change from that month by a delay into October, or release moved up to August, but at the moment it has not been confirmed or acknowledged yet by Nintendo, or when we will see that get any form of news just yet. But I'm sure by, I'm going to say, the next Nintendo Direct in February, we'll probably get our first tease of the console. But for now, all we can do is speculate. What are your thoughts on these announcements? And for the Switch one, when exactly do you think we'll get the console? I'm thinking at least mid to late September at the latest. I think that's a perfectly good news for it. Get people excited to release it for Christmas. But let me know what you think down below in the comments. And now to a galaxy far, far away for this next story, as we are talking on one of the upcoming projects that will be making its way to the big screen from the Star Wars universe. Now, one of the most popular series to come out of this was of course the first one that started the trend, which was with The Mandalorian. We've seen 3 seasons of this series since 2019, with the first 2 well liked, and the most recent season had a bit of a rough landing. And personally, I thought season 3 was decent, but felt it could have been a bit more better. but it had a very good finale. We'll give that. The Mando Grogu, or Baby Yoda, has been some fan favorites in the saga since their first appearance, seeing them cross over into some of the other new series as well as recent, including Book of Boba Fett and the show. While it's unclear if we will see them appear in the likes of any other show like Skeleton Crew, we do know these two will be heading to the big screens sometime soon, and we've gotten a bit of an update on that as well. Now we've gotten confirmation that series creator of Jon Favreau, who's also known for his directing duties of Iron Man, The Jungle Book, Lion King, Elf, and of course Chef, will be taking on the directing duties for this feature film. Now, I do have some good faith in his direction with this film, as it all works out well for him, and if it's the case he may need to step down as director, three backups I would choose between them would be Dave Filoni, Rick Fukuyashi, or Bryce Dallas Howard, because they've all made some excellent episodes for the series as well. Now, it'd be worth knowing if this will be a film solely just on Mando and Grogu, or if it'll be tying with some of the other shows, the Boba Fett and Ashoka as well, and the Rebels team, teaming up to take down Admiral Thrawn and possibly Moff Gideon if he's not killed off by then, but I'm sure we'll find out more as the film enters into production and releases sometime soon. Now, I'd like to hear your thoughts on whether or not Favreau will make a decently good Star Wars film with The Mandalorian, and who would you like to see appear and direct the film otherwise as well? Give me your thoughts. Well, let me know what you all feel about this all down below in the comment section below. And finally, we have a little bit of somber news this week, and this is coming to us from the video streaming giant of YouTube. Now, you may have noticed that since the start of this year, and a little at the end of last year, I saw some big names in the last decade or so of YouTube announcing that they are either leaving YouTube or taking a break or bringing a new approach to the channel, with some names like Tom Scott, Meat Canyon, Moosh Knuckle, Captain Sparkles, Stampy Longhead, and many more. And now we have one that I did keep up with for a very long time, that's been around for a good bit. That's of course with MatPat himself, or as you may know him for, the head of Game, Film, Food and Style Theory. And on Monday this week he announced in a teary-eyed video that as of March 9th of 2024, he will be hosting his last Game Theory, and in most cases the host of the other channels as well. Now, this will not see the channel's end or Matt disappearing entirely, as he will still be part of the live channel until the end of summer, which is GT Live, and he will still appear now and again and be the one writing the scripts for the series, so he will be still working on them, but just not the one hosting the series after that date. And this came as a surprise to me, and I did feel some sense of emotion watching this, because I grew up with this channel since I was like in my early teens, and seeing him leave after all these years, it was quite sad. But I understand his reasoning, because, you know, he wants to be there for his family and stuff like that, and like he wants to create stuff. He wants to create a game, he wants to create a film. He's creating this new like lo-fi, basically taking the lo-fi stuff. You might hear lo-fi in these videos, but that kind of case, and I'd be interested to see. But I like the case that, you know, but I can understand some cases of other channels reducing their output, you know, not full-time, but like part-time now and again, or ending their channels, which I find a bit odd, but like I think MatPat's doing a decently good job here with this one. While it will be sad, I do want to thank MatPat for the many years of showing that it was not, that it's all just a theory, and wish him the best, and all the others in the best as well too. So thank you for entertaining us for a long time. But what are your thoughts on this? Are you sad to see him go? And what has been your favorite theory from his channels and stuff? I know a lot of them. I mean, you have the extensive FNAF list, you have Poppy Playtime, you have all these other ones, but I love the FNAF series in kind of case. I just love listening to his theories, they're quite enjoyable. But let me know what you think down below in the comment section. And with that, that's all of the news that we have for this week.
That's the 6 o'clock news. Good night and good news.
And with that now, that's the end of episode 34 of Weird Mind Newsroom. And in most cases, this is going to be a bit of a lengthy one because a lot of discussion I had in the stories, but I'm going to keep this conclusion brief. Now, to give some updates on some stuff coming up on the channel, I'm going to be doing a little bit of a lengthy video talking about my most anticipated stuff of 2024, which is going to focus on movies, shows, and games. Now, I have a shit ton of films. I have a fair handful of games and TV shows, but I don't know when some of them are coming out. Hopefully have that done some point this week. Well, I'll have to say. The rewatchathon, I'm still going to aim for the end of this month. I just need to get one or two little bits fixed up on it kind of thing, and gather the footage and shit. I'm going to find the time for it. I'm just a bit busy this week in the evening, so I'll have to see how I'll work that out. Reviews, I am sort of planning them out. I'm going to start writing them this week as well. I'm going to at least write up Barbenheimer, or maybe I did watch -1 there the other night and I thought it was excellent, so I'm probably going to maybe do that one or something like that. I'm going to maybe put a list down below in the comments, and I'd like to hear your thoughts, or even my social media. I might do a list of like, what review should I do next? I'll give a list of stuff and give my thoughts on it, but I might do that as like a clear indication, but I'll have to see with that one. After that, then I'm gonna try and do some skits. I'm gonna still work on the video stuff for like let's plays and shit like that. I'm gonna work on some bits and maybe do some essay ones or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. And yeah, I think that's basically it. I'm a bit tired, even though I'm a bit of an insomniac at this point, and I've got room is a bit mess and organized as it is, so hopefully I'll get that done. But I'm probably gonna leave it there. Now, I hope you all enjoyed listening to my content, and if you did, why not like the video, of course, and like share around to people. And if you haven't already, simply subscribe, because I love to create a wholesome community here, and like any new person that joins, I welcome you all with open arms. So bring it in. I don't know who's there. But anyways, yeah, let me know what your thoughts as well about all the stuff discussed this week. Like, have you seen any new releases? What's your thoughts on the trailers? And give me your opinions on all the news stories to talk about this week as well. I'll probably put the links as well in the description of all the talking points as well, so you can find out more information. But yeah, I'm just going to leave it there. So, I hope you all stay being wonderful people, because you all are wonderful people. You know, let's bring some positivity to this. I think tomorrow is Blue January, which is supposed to be the low point day of the year, so hopefully a bit more positivity. So let me just shout out there basically that you are special, you're unique. Thank you for being you and for being with us. Like, no one could ever replace you or get to level as you. So thank you for being here with us. And with that, I'm going to basically compress some of these and go to bed, because I'm a bit tired. I've been out all day. But as always, you all stay being wonderful people, because you all are wonderful people, and have a great day every day. Do many great things, as I have believe good faith in you that you will do great things. And I'll see you all in the next video. So take care, everyone, and goodbye.